Hi friends, welcome back in this sunny video here. I just want to apologize for my sunshine coming in. I work right here in front of the window and I like to create my videos for you using primarily natural light. And it's just, we've had some sunny days lately, which is great. I hope that it doesn't make a glare. I actually really enjoy having that natural light shining in. If it gets to be too bright, I might come back, pause the video and come back later. But hopefully, you know, as the sun goes behind the clouds or comes out, it will just create a nice little glow for you. So this is the week of March 28th through April 3rd in 2022. So this is the final week of March. So that means I'm going to be using my March Stories by the Month kit from Ali Edwards. And I have not yet pulled this kit out really. So I'm just going to kind of pull it out now. It comes with these wood veneer tags. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with these yet or if I will use them in the spread, but I'm going to just put them to the side here. I've got this chipboard that it comes with. These are my older March chipboard sheets. If you watched my most recent, or one of my most recent videos, I reorganized all of my chipboard. I had not yet gone through and done these ones because I put them with this kit for the spread. After I finish the spread, I will work whatever's left into my chipboard organization. And then I have the cards here, which I will go through in a minute when I'm putting together, figuring out what's going to go in each pocket. So the big challenge this week is that I forgot to take photos. I just didn't have that much going on. And that just happens from time to time. I'm busy, or, you know, I'm just like, I was having a really rough week and I just didn't take a lot of photos. So I printed out a few. I have these two. I baked challah bread and made French toast from it. So those kind of go together. I have been getting back on the treadmill and working out. So these two kind of go together. I have this fun one of my cat here, and then I got a promotion and I went to celebrate that. And then this, I wore some new clothes that I bought the week before. So I'm thinking that I'm going to maybe kind of focus on these as separate stories rather than do, you know, an overview of the full week. I will just do, you know, the different stories this week. One will be about my working out, one will be about the bread, one will be about my promotion, and one will probably be about just like the tough stuff that's going on. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we'll see how that works out. And then the next thing I'm going to do is kind of go through these cards. So as you know, I've been following the same format every week that I'm using the March Stories by the Month, or the Stories by the Month kits this year, because there are repeated cards. So I'm always going to use that one as my title card. And then I'm just going through these to find the ones that are repeated. So I always have been using this one, these four. So this one can just be about gratitudes for this month. This one I think will be about the story of my promotion. And then this one I've been using for an overview of the month, which I think would be good there. And then this one can be random moments from this month. You know, I might actually put this one here. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. And then I do have a few here, like, so here's a filler one. So that might be good to go right here behind this tag. And then let's see, I need something to go right here by that, because I'm going to put that like that, or, you know, maybe this one, or even the heart. The heart is very cute. I'm not sure yet. I'll play around with that. And then let's see. So I have a bunch of spots that don't have photos that I need to kind of fill in. So I'm definitely going to do, you know, a filler, but I'm trying to think, like, how many stories do I really have to tell? So there is this one, and there's these are stickers. So I could just use up the entire kit, and I could do this like that and I wouldn't use these two cards, but that could be how I do it. Or I might decide to do some other element to repeat on these cards to kind of tie the spread together. So I'm just going to I'm going to put you on fast forward, and I'm going to think about what stories I want to tell and how I want to lay this week out.
Okay, so I'm starting with my journaling, which is not what I normally do, but I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to approach this spread, and I did know what I wanted to include on these journaling cards. I am using these same 4 journaling cards for the final week of the month every month this year, so that kind of gives me a starting point to know what I'm going to include on these cards. The one that said this happened and the gratitudes card that I'm currently writing are including stories from the overall month and kind of a recap. So some things from this week, but also things that happened earlier in the month. The other 2 cards in the middle I am using to tell stories about this week. This card that I'm currently journaling is to tell the story about getting a promotion and just kind of how it happened and, how I feel about it and what I'm specifically going to be doing in my new role. The card with the stripes on it, I have been using those and I am using in this spread as well to tell a bunch of little stories from the week. I pulled over the chipboard pieces that I had pulled out and I decided to use some of the tag-shaped ones that came in this kit, and I'm just kind of laying a few of them out across the spread. My goal this year is really to use up my supplies and not worry about hoarding stuff, which I have done in the past. When I really love something, I want to try to hold on to it, and I'm really trying to not do that this year. So I'm really excited when I can use so much of the kit. And in this spread, you'll see I do use almost this entire kit, which is amazing. I'm so thrilled that I was able to use so many of the cards and embellishments, and a lot of that was because I didn't have that many photos. I was able to play with more product this week, which you'll see coming up soon. I'm using my sticky note there where I have written down a lot of the stories from this week. Some of those stories will make it into the spread, some of them will not, but it's just kind of an overview of everything that happened this week. And I pulled those stories from my Day One app where I keep a daily journal about what happened every day so that when I'm ready to work on Project Life, I have those notes to go back on and I'm never worried about forgetting about stuff. So now I'm just ready to work on those 3 4x6 pockets that I didn't have anything for. And so what I decided to do was take this gray paper from my stash and cut it into 4x6 cards. And what I'm going to do is stamp some really large phrases. Stamping large words is something that I absolutely love. I do it very frequently in a lot of my projects, and it's really one of my go-to just techniques to use. So what I decided to do was take this really pretty watercolor card from the kit, and I'm cutting it down into 1/2-inch strips, and I'm going to use these on each of these 4x6 cards to create a border. So I'm going to just adhere a strip along the bottom and another one along the top of each of these cards. So these 3 cards are going to have identical treatment, and it's going to be a unifying element that shows up across the spread. And it's just a good way to fill in these pockets and have a complete page without a lot of photos or stories, because this week really just wasn't a very busy one and I had a lot of difficult things going on. So I decided to really just focus on a few key details. So because I'm going to do large stamping and I kind of want it to be centered, I'm writing out all the words here quickly on the scratch paper so I can figure out where to start. When I want to center a word through stamping, I'm going to start in the middle of the word and then work my way out. It's not going to be perfect because the letters aren't all the same width, but this is going to help me make sure that I have enough space and that I'm putting the words not fully too far to the left or too far to the right. So I decided to stamp. I got a promotion. I ran and did Pilates, and I baked challah, which were 3 things that happened this week and were documented in my photos, but not a lot else was documented. And I thought that that was just kind of a fun way to do the overview of this week rather than, telling the story of everything that happened. I just highlighted a few key details. And of course, the getting a promotion was really the big story of the week. Next, I pulled out this 4x6 card from the kit that had these little journaling spots, and I cut one of them out to use as a base to include my dates on my title card here. And because I cut it out, I do decide to use the rest of that card or most of that card on the spread in a little bit. But first, I'm going to adhere these tags. When there's the tags, I feel like something needs to be in that hole. So I pulled over this thread that was left over on my desk from another project, and I'm just doubling it through the hole and knotting it around, or not even knotting it, just pulling it back through itself and using that just as a little embellishment. That shopping tag there, I adhered it down to the background card, and I wanted the string from it to hang out, but it's on the wrong side of the page and the pockets aren't open on this side, and I could have cut a slit for it, but I just decided to staple it down and keep it inside the pocket. I figured it was fine this way. I pulled over some white cardstock as a base for these 2 3x4 cards because they're going to go into a 4x6 pocket. They need something to stabilize them and make sure that they don't fall around or slide around inside the pocket. So they're just adhered down on that 4x6 card there. Now I'm working on this. This is the final tag in the spread where I'm going to add some thread, and I'm just adding it onto this photo of my challah French toast. And this is when I pull out that card. So because I cut one out, I wanted to keep using it, and these were intended to be journaling spots, but I didn't really have any more journaling, and I realized that I could just use them as embellishments. If I put them at the bottom of each card, I could just use it as just a little embellishment and cut off the journaling part. And then this one was just a title, I think it says right now, and I thought that was perfect. It fit perfectly on that photo of me on the treadmill. And the other ones I'm going to use, I end up using all but one of them, which I think is perfectly fine. And I did put that last one back in with the remains of this kit that I might pull out to do another spread. And then when I work the kit, whatever's left, into my stash, I will probably just toss it because it is really just a little scrap that's left. So now I'm putting everything in the pockets. I didn't do the journaling on that final card because I'm going to journal about some of the harder things that were going on this week and this month. So I'm going to blur that out, but you can see the finished spread here. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thank you for being here.